Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. If you are new, welcome, and if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back for another video. In today's video, we are going to be putting the products that I bought in the Sephora VIB sale on my face. You're going to get to see how they perform and see and hear some of my thoughts about the products. I'm going to be trying the Marc Jacobs concealer, the Giorgio Armani concealer. We're going to be doing a Tom Ford eyeshadow palette look, as well as using that Mer powder. So if you want to see all those products in action, definitely stay tuned. So my foundation's already on. I used the Tarte Face Tape. That's what it's called, right? Face Tape Foundation. And I'm in the shade 53G Golden. Deep Golden. Alright, so everything's done in that regard. Primer was the Farsali Skin Tune Blur and a little bit of the Skin Refine Zone Treatment by MAC. So I figured I would show you guys both of the concealers that I picked up during the Sephora VIB sale. If you're curious about that haul, check out the video here. I think it should be on this side. So just to recap, I got 3 shades of the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. And then I got 1 of the Marc Jacobs Accomplice Concealer. They had swatches on their site, I believe, so I was able to easily pick a shade that would work for me. I picked up in the Marc Jacobs Tan 49, and then for my under eye for the Giorgio Armani concealer, I'm going to use shade 12. So just to give Marc Jacobs a fair shot, I'm trying to see which under eye I have more trouble with usually with the separating and all that. I have more lines on my left side, but I feel like I have deeper lines on the right. So I'm going to put the Marc Jacobs on the left eye here on this side, and then I'm going to put Giorgio Armani over here. So I'm going to go on ahead, and then for the rest, like my forehead and stuff, I'm going to use the Giorgio Armani. So let me go on ahead and put this on over here. Once again, this is in shade 12. Okay. So this is a doe foot applicator. I'll show you guys, but it has a little slant to it. I don't know if you can see that, but it has a slight slant on the tip of it. So, and then the Marc Jacobs, once again, is a cream concealer, twist up tube. Show you how much product you get, that much. All right, so you can see how much I, twist it up to use. The Marc Jacobs, this side looks like it's a little lighter, and it has a little bit of a more neutral type of undertone. And then the Giorgio Armani side looks a little bit more orange. Yeah, it looks like it has a little bit more orange to it, and it looks like it's like a half shade deeper, if that. I'm going to take this new sponge here, and I'm going to go ahead and start blending out the Giorgio Armani in the other places that I put it. And just so you guys know, this is another one of those Studio Pro sponges that I talked about in one of my previous videos. One of my more recent videos, like trying new makeup or something. I mentioned to you guys that they have like different versions of that one that I used that had the brown striping in it. This one is one with pink, veining, and it's rose water infused or something like that. The one that I was talking to you guys about in a previous video was argan oil infused, and this one actually smells like roses. So that's pretty interesting. Alright, so I've got that blended out. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the under eye with the same side of the sponge that I used for the rest. Okay. Alright, so you guys can see the coverage that I got with this. I think it looks good. It blends out really nicely and covered my, the darker areas of my under eye, covered it really nicely. Blends out really nicely, nice and smooth. So on this side, I almost used the wrong side. I'm going to go with the other side. Okay. With the Marc Jacobs. So that blended out really easily. However, I don't think I have as good of a coverage on that side. You guys see, like, it looks like I have a better coverage on the Giorgio Armani side versus the Marc Jacobs side. Just a slight difference, but I do see a difference. Like this side here, it just looks lighter. I mean, it just looks brighter under my eye. Versus here, I can still see a little bit of darkness, you know. So, I don't know. You know, a cream, you know, it's a creamy consistency. I didn't want to add too much and then have it like, you know, be cakey or anything like that. I'm just adding a little bit more just to increase the coverage. So even though I added more, I still feel like this one looks bright. This side looks brighter than this side. You guys let me know. Alright, you guys, so for my under eye, I'm going to do a soft set with the Mer The Powder, like I had mentioned to you guys in the video, how I would use that. That's what I'm going to do today. Container. And so, here we go. Using that same side of that to make sure that any lines are blended out. Going in with this Refer P08 brush, meaning it's a prototype, and just pressing that into my under eye. And so you guys can see what it looks like. You guys let me know what you think. Alright, and then on the other side, let me take the Giorgio Armani side of the sponge, look up, make sure any possible separation is blended out. Sure I don't get too much, and then laying that down. And so now recently here, since I've gotten those J-Cap powders, I have been using these on my under eye as well, just to add a little bit more of a set, but not with something matte. So I'm doing the same thing here, taking a little bit of that powder and putting it right on the under eye. So now I've done my under eye, I'm going to do, like, set the rest of my face, and then I will be back with more products from the haul. I decided to do my, like, set my eyes, or prepare my eyes, and do my eyebrows along with bronze, and then we will handle the rest of the face after the eyes. So what I'm going to do now is put some Fenty Beauty powder on my face, just lay it down so that I can use that as a precaution for any fallout from the eyeshadow. Okay, and so we are going to be using the one eyeshadow palette that I picked up in my haul, and it is the Tom Ford Double Indemnity palette, and here it is. Just before we go into that, I'm going to set up my crease with the Natasha Denona palette, the Biba palette from my favorites. Here it is, and I'm going to go into Sculpture. This is the light gray shade, her creamy matte formula, and I'm just going to lay this down in the transition area. Alright, so I put that all over in the transition, as you can see. But it gives a nice gray tone to the transition area. My MAC 242 with the black shade in the palette. I'm going to get some of that on my brush. Load it up pretty good. Then I'm going to spray my brush, dampen that up a bit, and then I'm going to lay this on the inner corner. And then I'm just grabbing more of it without wetting the brush. Grabbing more and adding more to the inner corner. Actually, this time I'm going to spray my brush. Swing it a little bit to make sure any excess gets knocked off. Go into the eyeshadow with the wet brush. And now I'm going to take that on the outer corner. And then with the edge of this brush, I'm just dragging a little bit to the transition area to get a little bit of a blend. I think that's blended nicely. just by doing this a little bit with that, with the brush. I think that blended pretty good with that gray tone from the Natasha Denona palette. Gosh, this is the P07A. This is another Refer brush, one of their prototypes, one of their newer prototypes that I picked up. I'm taking some of that black shade into the crease just to give a little bit more blend. Not really necessary, but if I want to deepen that up a little bit. And then no additional product on that black, going into the inner corner and blending up. Or not blending up, but blending that edge. Show you guys what that looks like. I'm going to wipe off my MAC 242, and then I'm going to spray this brush again. And what I'm using for the spray is this ColourPop Amber, Crystal Amber setting spray. I don't even think they sell this anymore, but I like the way it smells. And I like the way it smells. And, you know, it does the job. If you got Fix Plus, then feel free to use that. I'm going to use the shade in the top right corner of the palette, laying this down on the center of the lid. And you guys know how I do with my halos. Lay it down right where I want it and then pat the excess on the edges to make sure it's a smooth blend. I'm going to take some on my finger and then just lay this on top. See if that does anything different. This black has like little, I mean, it has a lot of silver sparkle to it, but then it's got some purple I can see, or it looks a little bit like a pink, like pink sparkle in it. Really cute. What I'm going to do next for a brow bone highlight is, once again, wipe my MAC 242 off. Okay, make sure it's clean. I'm taking the shade in the top, what is it, in the top left corner, and that one, it has a little subtle pink tone to it, but it is pretty bright as far as like a white tone. And I'm using that dry, of course, and hitting that right in the arch. And I wore this one day, you know, this color in the arch like this. The sun caught it. You know, I was looking in the mirror and the sun just hit it just right. It was so beautiful and very smooth, and like, it was just really pretty. So I'm going to take this brush. It is an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. I got it for like $1 when I first started doing my own makeup. So several years ago. I'm going to spray this. And then I'm going to take it into the only shade left we haven't used, which is this brown shade next to the black. And I'm going to get some of that. And run this along the lower lash line. What I should have done is use a pencil brush to do this, but I didn't feel like looking for one. Do want to add a little bit more depth to the lower lash line, so I'm going to take some of the black on that Refer brush that we used to add more in the outer V. I'm going to do a quick thin line because I don't want to cover up too much of that beautiful silver in the middle. Alright, did a little bit of a wing, a very slight very slight wing. I'm going to use this new mascara that I got in a package from Stila. This is the Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. Okay. Alright, so that is that for the eye, but I'm going to do my other eye off camera, of course. Come back and we will do blush and highlight and stuff, and you guys can see the final look. Alright, you guys, eyes are completed, and I think they look very pretty. But yeah, obviously Under Eye Bake has been kicked off, and yeah, everything looks good. There's no glitter that's stuck, you know, to the face anywhere. All that powder, girl, it couldn't. So so yeah, it looks really nice. And then I must say that Fenty powder like after you've set. I don't use it to just straight up bake. I do a soft set like I did under my eye with like a brush, you know, do a soft set with some powder, and then, but to get that final flawless, like poreless look, that Fenty powder, girl, seriously, great stuff. Blush, blush, blush. You guys know I was very excited about this product when I was talking to you guys in the Sephora haul video. Once again, the CoverFX Monochromatic Blush in Sweet Mulberry. So I'm gonna take this funny looking brush that I picked up by Real Techniques. It came in a set with like 3 of these types of brushes, a very large one, this size, and then one that you can use for your eyes. I'm going to use this for my blush. This is the Real Techniques 403 brush. It's called the Rebel Edge Medium. And I'm going to just tap this into the matte shade, kick off any excess, and then just apply it. Actually, I'm going to pick up a little bit more because this is a synthetic brush, so it's not picking up as much as my real hair brushes. But this is such a beautiful blush. It goes on really nicely. It just provides a nice plum tone to the look, or to the cheeks. And with the very neutral, like cool toned eyes, I think this looks really, really good together. This combination, very nice, very nice. Everything is still pretty matte. Next, I'm going to go with a different brush. This is a natural hair brush, the BOM 36. I'm going to go into the metallic side, and this is pressed kind of hard. Well, you don't get any kick up with this shade. You get kick up with the matte shade, but not with this shimmery shade. It's pressed pretty hard actually, so I would recommend going in with a natural hair brush if you have one. And I'm just gonna go on top of that same area that I put the blush. Okay, and so that gives a nice glow to the cheeks, if you can see that, how it's got a shine to it, versus this side it doesn't really have much of a shine. It has some shine to it, but that's just like the light bouncing off my cheek, I guess, but it's pretty matte. But over here you can see like a glow, so gonna get more of that on this brush and go on the others. Next, we're going in with some highlight. Miss Pat McGrath, girl, she really did it with this product. She really did it with this product. I am going to show you guys the purple one. It's called, I mean, it's not purple, but like a pink. It's called Iridescent Pink 003. And I've got this BOM 41 domed powder brush. And I'm just going to tap that into the brush there. And you see there's a little bit of white powder. Kick it off. Make sure I kick off a decent amount. This doesn't have a mirror with it. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Okay. And I'm going to take this on the cheekbones with this brush. And then I also think that the fact that I have on that plum blush, it's really kind of mixing in with that a little bit, so you're not seeing too much of the pink as being pretty evident. To add a little bit more shine, go a little bit more on top of it, I'm going to do Pure Gold 003. That's the shade in the middle. That one there. You know, get a little bit on there, kick it off, and then basically right on top. Woo, and then you get a nice like rose gold. Oh girl, you get a nice rose gold look to your cheek. They blend nicely on top of each other, like very pretty. Okay. You guys see that patch of shine? That's how intense it can get. I really like this brush though because it's so dense that it really gets you a good blend, you know. And you know, it helps your highlighter to look pretty smooth when you know, blend it into the skin like that, versus with a fluffier brush, sometimes it can look a little bit scattered. So I have gone a little bit ham with the highlight, especially over in this area. So I'm going to go into my La Mer powder and do my, you know, buffing that I have mentioned to you guys. So I'm just going to use this BH Cosmetics brush, dip it in the powder, kick off any excess, and then over here, make sure I do some blend, you know, right on top, trying to kind of concentrate it above the highlight so that I don't have any harsh line, and then that kind of blended that out pretty good. So you can see there's no harsh line anymore. Alright guys, so here is the final look. Let me get a little bit closer for you guys. Alright, so this is the Marc Jacobs side here. What do you guys think? Let me look up for you. Okay, and then here's the Giorgio Armani side. Look up for you. Okay, so what do you guys think, first of all, about the look? I think this eyeshadow look is very, very beautiful. Very evening appropriate, okay? You can make it even more smoky, like I said, making that halo a little bit smaller, or just negating that altogether, and I think you'd be like, have a cute little black, you know, all black smoky eye, and the sparkles in the black would just really give it a different kind of feel because it won't be matte. You can use the silver on the inner corner, and yeah, really be really good. So but yeah, I like this eye look. I think it looks really smooth, and you know, I like it. Okay, so I like the eyeshadow palette. Once again, it is Tom Ford, so you know it's expensive, and whether or not you think it's worth it, that's totally up to you. I know a lot of people will not think it's worth it. Didn't have any issues with any of the blending, didn't have any issues with the performance of the eyeshadows. Of course, I use most of them wet, but I have been using this palette dry as well, and it looks good dry. Just taking my finger and patting the shade onto the lid, it works nicely that way as well. Alright, so you guys know I already told you guys I really like this blush from CoverFX. It's really pretty. I think it complements my skin tone very nicely. And if you have a deeper skin tone, it will complement your skin tone very nicely as well. So, but the lighter you go, the lighter your skin is, then the more you have to be mindful about how you pick up that product, what type of brush you use to pick up the product. Natural hair brushes are going to pick up a lot more product than a synthetic brush, and you're going to need to use a light hand if you are of a medium skin tone or lighter. Alright, so yes, highlight. The highlight palette, I really do like it. I think, you know, you can spray your brush to get that high shine. You can spray your face to get that high shine as well, and then because with the pink, I'm saying with the pink shade, because it just looks like a pink blush, you know, to me when I put it up there, as you guys saw. But then when I put that gold on top of it, girl, it just transformed it. So I'm happy with that purchase, that highlighter palette from Pat McGrath. I think it's really nice, and I think it will last a really long time, like I said in my previous video. Oh, okay, so my La Mer powder, I do like it. I'm still going to keep using it to get more thoughts about it, but I like that light set that it does under the eyes. You can use that by itself if you wanted to, but I like to give a little bit more insurance on my under eye, so that's why I went in with that J-Cat powder on top, just for my under eye. But using it as like a set for your face all over, buffing that in after you're finished with your makeup as well is a good option for that powder. I think it blends in pretty nicely with my skin. Alright, so I think that the Giorgio Armani side looks better. When I look closely, you know, into like my fine lines and stuff, I don't see as much in the fine line on this side as I do on this side. It seems like there's more product gathered in my fine lines under my eye on this side versus this side. I think the Giorgio Armani concealer is better than the Marc Jacobs concealer for me, in my opinion, with the situation I have going on with my under eye. Anyways, that is the final look, guys. Let me know your thoughts. What did you think about any of the products that I used in today's video? And I'll be talking to you guys really soon. Don't forget to check out the Sephora haul video so you can see all the other things that I picked up that I did not use in this video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content from me, definitely hit that subscribe button. I upload videos 3 to 4 times per week, and I like trying high-end makeup and luxury makeup, okay, and I sprinkle in affordable here and there. So if you want to come on this journey with me, definitely hit the subscribe button. All right, I'll be talking to you guys really soon. Thank you so much for watching. See ya. Just uploaded my Sephora VIB sale haul, and I did not put in swatches of the Mulberry blush palette, so I know you guys just saw it applied, but let me show you guys really quickly. So once again, here is what the CoverFX Mulberry palette looks like. Right, so that's the matte shade there. I wonder if you guys can see it. It looks pretty light on my hand, but you guys saw how it applied on my face. And then here is the metallic shade. So yeah, as you can see, that would look like really nice by itself as a blush. So yeah, I figured I would come on and do the swatches since I just got finished recording this video, and someone commented and said, I wish I would have seen swatches of the blush. And I guess I don't really think to do swatches of blush. I don't know. I just don't, it just doesn't cross my mind to do blush swatches, but I will try to be more mindful of that in the future. Alright, so in my previous video I did swatches of the Tom Ford palette dry, so I'm going to show you guys. So this side is the finger swatch, this side is with the wet brush, and I think you can definitely see the difference in the intensity, especially look at that black, it looks just like wet. I just wanted to show you guys that as well since I came back on here to do some swatches. Alright, hopefully this part of the video was helpful, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Alright, talk soon. See you.